everybody. Alright, so we had some technical difficulties and there was a bunch of noise outside, which is really funny. But that always happens right as it's, we're about to stream or do something. Dogs start getting really excited and cars start coming and all that. So, I wanted to try to figure out a little solution because I have a lav mic I can just plug in, but it wasn't quite working. So I figured, you know what, let's just go for it. I know it's quite a bit over the time when I wanted to start the little sharing. So, hi everybody. I'm just gonna give a little bit more time for some people to sign on. I think what happens is Facebook gives a notification that Eugene is going live, and I tried to set up a little screen with links and share stuff. I thought it was really curious to get some people to share the post as you're viewing it. So I know this is just going to be a test run for the most part. Although, I'm going to still just stay online. I'm just going to hop on here and share a little bit of sound healing and just see what comes and stay on for a little while. But as people sign on, I thought I'd be curious to see how many people could click the share button and stuff like that, because if we do that, then it gets a lot more outreach. And if you hop on, let me know how you find the sound, how things are going. I might just start playing here in a little bit, is what I feel, to kind of set the space and the energy. Like I said, feel free to, and I did a little share goals thing at the bottom, which is kind of cute, maybe just do a little improvisation if we hit 10 shares. I did a little video of the surrounding area as well, if we get to that share goal or whatnot, and I can stream that and switch the scene. I've been learning up a lot just in the last couple days how to do this, because the internet has finally been able to support streaming, and I guess we'll find out how it goes afterwards when I see you guys in the chat. I do have the chat log here, so when I see you, feel free to give me some feedback, how it is, how the sound is, and I'll definitely make more tweaks and we'll keep going. But meanwhile, I just wanted to give this a go and just hop on. So I'm sorry again, it's a lot later than I first anticipated, which is probably part of the reason why there's not really much attention at the moment. There were some people who were hopping on then when I was doing a test run, and I'm like, sorry, I'm just testing it. I'll be back in a little bit, and ended up being like half an hour later. But so here we are, and this will be the first time that I'm actually live streaming from the temple, which is truly amazing. I'm super stoked because I've been wanting to share this vibration in a live setting more interactively. If people leave comments in the chat, I can connect with their questions and even do a little Q&A kind of portion, just what comes through to tell about any particular theme, any particular subject that you're tuning into, or your intentions, as well as the music. I enjoy sharing the transmissions musically, because it's like what I receive is just so multidimensional, and it gets conveyed, and the music's so much better than anything I could put into words. But I also feel that words are a very powerful key of vibration to really lock that into our logical mind to understand as well more directly. So it's something I've enjoyed doing. I've always felt like I can have a sharing and teaching role in the future, so it comes from my heart, because it's something I find so much joy in doing. Hello, I think somebody just joined in. Anyways, it's gonna be the beginning of a new chapter, definitely, and whether it's every week or not, it'll be it'll be something to have as an option, and whether we just do more regular events. I just had this cacao sharing over Zoom just last week, and it was truly beautiful. It was really powerful, and the energy that was the interactive energy was transmitting perfectly through the camera. I could feel everyone in the container just kind of share what was needed in the moment, and help transform energies and all these things. So it really panned out beautifully, and I was really grateful to be able to have that. So that's something also I'll definitely be sharing more of. I'll keep you guys updated. There's been a lot of flow lately for opening up to receive. As our minds are upgrading our bodies and our consciousness is evolving, and we're changing into this kind of new paradigm, this new way of being, which really is so much more about letting go of the onlineness of the mind to try to control everything, but just stepping back to allow listening for our presence, our soul, our guidance to come through. And it's like a 180 shift, and truly when we come from that listening enabled space, it allows us to follow a heart-centered flow in all that we create, all that we do, much more so than if we were trying to wrangle everything with our mind, like I was kind of having to do before with the setup and everything. That was definitely challenging, and I'm still transitioning from that very mental kind of space. But as we're all making this shift into how to anchor that into our everyday reality and how we approach everything, it's very it's easy. At the same time, it can be a bit challenging, because in our mind we think that it's this huge flip, like we have to change into something that's so radical and so unknown, and make this leap into this unknown territory. But truly all it is we're just shifting it to being what we've already known how to be. It's sort of like dropping into your core and just allowing yourself to listen with your body, and tune in with your body. And in that space, the heart awakens much more and nourishes the mind. And so the mind is kind of just takes a backseat while it's still very much present. We're not destroying our egos and all these things. They're a beautiful part of our integral heart-mind connection, that union of the masculine and feminine. So it's been really such a theme this year, and especially in the last month or so, of hi, welcome everybody. There's some people joining. I hope that it's working out okay. Leave me a little comment if you can about the quality, how things are going. If my little share goals ticker thing isn't working, it's just all these little improvisations, I try to create, have fun with. But this shift is into this listening enabled operating system, where we're tuning into our soul and body and channeling that through our words, through all of our sharings, what we create. It's very profound and quite easy, because it's a shift into something that we've already always been. Like our body knows how to do this in a way, and it's just about letting ourselves be safe, feel safe to do so. So there's been a lot of lower energy centers work lately for so many, myself included, that has just allowed us to feel how supported we are, from the ground up, and really feeling that vitality and that nourishment to be able to be in that sort of listening operating system. And from that place, everything just falls into place afterwards. We make that transition, and everything in our life starts to become so much more graceful and synchronous. And I've been experiencing this tremendously lately. And that's one of the reasons I've been feeling to share more often. And once I get all of this setup kind of going, it's going to be, I think it'll be really powerful to be able to share that vibration and that embodiment through the music and various events and various sharings. So again, I feel really blessed that the internet has finally been able to come together, because like I said, it's been 4 years really, being up here in this really powerful, beautiful, majestic land, and finding a way to get a stable signal of internet as well, so that we can share this vibration with the world. I'm not just sitting here keeping it to myself, enjoying sharing lovingly this piano and recording and stuff, but just truly being able to tune into the moment and see whoever is in need of it, very specifically in that moment, and connect with you all and engage. So, um, yeah, it's definitely been a work in progress, and a lot of these little platforms are all working together. Like I just put it up on Eventbrite to get more the information out, and it's a work in progress in the sense that how it'll all work together in one into one format is going to evolve over the next few weeks. But it's been really fun for me to do this, truly. So I'm grateful to have the opportunity. Hopefully, in this chatting, I'm sort of just talking. Once the replay is up, all this will be there as well, even though it's not really getting a lot of views at the moment and all that. But hopefully, in the video replay, we'll see the microphone is just behind me. Again, I was going to do a little lav mic, but it wasn't quite working just yet, so we don't have that nice clear chat yet. But in any case, I want to first start off and share a short little transmission about receiving and about this exact opening up into presence. And if there was a way to click on titles so I could describe to anyone that's tuning in later on what I'll be sharing about, that is definitely something to do. But for the meanwhile, it'll just be a piano sharing. Those of you tuning in, during it, just open and receive as always, as with all of them. And you can have your own intentions as you tune into this and listen. Again, just allowing it to reverberate within you. Our bodies, it speaks directly to ourselves, kind of bypassing the mental framework, which is one of the gifts of music, right? So I'll go ahead and start with a small transmission just for setting the space for opening us up a little bit more into the safety of receiving, of making that switch into that operating system from where we are in our embodiment of our soul's presence, of our creativity, of our all our inspiration. Everything really comes from this, and it can come from such a beautiful space when it's powered by that, the safety to receive from the earth. So allow yourself to step into that as you listen. Let's see where it goes for the moment. So that was the first segment, the first part. I felt to open the space and create this bubble of vibration around all that are tuned in now and all that will tune in later. And I felt in the process a lot of opening happening, especially in the upper levels as we raise into our opening up to our soul's expression. There can be a lot of limiting fears and things that arise. That's been a huge theme for me actually as well. Just allowing the full expanded perceptions and the knowings and the intuition, the clairvoyance, the clairsentience, all these things to just awaken, because they were always a natural part of our functioning, but we were so conditioned, in our regular upbringings, that's extra. It's something that's supernatural. Really, it is just natural, but in our view, it has been viewed as supernatural or this crazy thing, And so it's a lot about breaking out of those uncertain beliefs and programmings. So I felt a little bit of that occurring at first, and then I already am feeling the theme for the second transmission here in a little bit. I wanted to try playing a video, meanwhile, and just share a little bit of the outside cam. I was just saying, I'll say this in the video as well, if it does come through with sound. Like I said, it's all kind of a new venture for me, but just a little bit of the outside nature space. Let's see if I can switch the scene over here. We'll go ahead and try it. As promised, here's a little video tour of this beautiful end. I'm just gonna go around a little bit and let you soak in the sunlight. Stuff is happening. It's beautiful because here we live just far enough away from all the busyness of hustle and bustle of PSOC, and yet still very close to nature. Just so removed in the presence of the majesty of these mountains. Every day when I can, I just kind of come outside and spend a lot of time hanging out, absorbing, receiving from the sun. There's so much to receive, especially in this purity. You just feel the sun's rays reaching the earth, and you can feel that channel, that the grounding of the light into the earth through myself, which is what I feel we are so much here to do, as these kind of walking conduits, anchoring in the highest knowing, connecting it, merging it with our deepest innocence, with our human self. Yeah, it's been such a gift. We're preparing some projects. There's a bunch of stuff here in front of the temple. Always new movement, always new things in the flow. Kiddos up there. Beautiful people living next to us here. I won't go into the Maloka in the video because obviously I'm in the Maloka, so we'll be sharing from there. But yeah, when we were doing our events, and the event here that I was doing via Zoom recently, I actually had my phone outside, joined into the Zoom call to do an outside cam, and it was actually really beautiful. I pinned that view while I was playing some of the transmissions. It all really came together well. I felt really grateful and really blessed. So, as much as I can share this outside view, apart from actually moving the piano outside, which would be wonderful, but sort of impossible, I'm going to make that happen and incorporate it, and share this majesty with you all as much as I can. Those who have come in person and visited us, of course, you know firsthand what this is like, and it's truly indescribable. The pictures and the videos don't do it much justice, but anyway, I just wanted to say thank you all for your support. This is really, really cool, and really grateful that things are coming together in this way, and that we're finally able to do these sharings online, because we're definitely going to continue. I mean, I'm going to continue doing this work in person, but it just feels like, I was saying in the video before the cacao sharing, that it just feels like such a powerful vibration every time I sit down, every time I'm on the piano or we're doing any event, and I wanted to open up every avenue possible, you know. Here's your sweet shaman kitty. He's just being outside mode. Hi. I love you so much. This always maintains such a beautiful 5D vibration. Every time I come close to him and I feel any sort of imbalance, like overly mental, overly masculine, or anything like that, as soon as I touch him or come close to him, he just radiates such a perfect love, a perfect portal of the masculine and feminine opening, so that we're in our embodiment, we're in our union. I mean, that's truly what that's all about for all of us. That's what it's not a woo-woo thing, it's really an actual tangible thing. And beautiful kitty, grateful for him. Anyway, may more and more of the transmissions and everything that we share embody this power, majesty, union. Aho. All right, we're back. Yeah, just kind of wanted to take a moment and tune in a little bit more. I went ahead and shared a little bit in some groups as well. Kind of curious to see how that pans out. Um, feel like starting in with the second portion here. Um, do another little transmission here for support for us. What I wanted to focus on in this case is continuing this theme of opening up to our highest expression. First, I found there to be this allowing, this opening that happens from the safety, and allowing it to be okay to receive our highest presence. And from there, I found that a lot of the old beliefs sneak in, and it sort of like clicks you out of that alchemy and that state of embodiment. Well, I wanted to try to share something now. Again, this is through music. Words can be something that's going to be so much better in some ways for these kinds of things to transmit and share, but in the sort of multidimensional sense that the music can bring, that, but again, bypasses our mind and our mental constructs. I thought to see how it would flow through in the alchemy, in the geometries in the music, to further assist with that. As we embody ourselves more and more, as we open, as we trust, as we flow, for how to only find the joy that's within that, because there's such an inherent joy within being in the heart space, in our truth and our expression, that it sort of feeds back onto itself. It gives you the inspiration to keep going. It's like an upward spiral. But then if we have some of these limiting fears that come up that click in, it sort of interrupts the process. And so if we really continue to acknowledge and be able to perceive that within ourselves, it makes it that much easier for us to sort of commune with those parts of us that may, from the past or past experiences, have this triggered conditioning that, hey, this is expanding into too much. This isn't comfortable for me. To allow them to also feel supported and convey the knowing, which is what the music I think will do better than words, as to why it's perfectly okay to allow that expansion to just flower infinitely, so that when it gets past a certain threshold, there's not this sort of contraction, knee-jerk response. I feel like it'll be really imperative for us all to embrace this more and more as we are evolving in our consciousness and stepping more into ourselves, coming home to ourselves. And that heart space of being home with yourself is, again, so self-rewarding and so self-amplifying that you, more and more, the more we embody it, the less we even want to do spend time in any other state of being, because it's so truly genuinely us. It feels like that which you've always been looking for outside, and that fulfillment, and that like coming home. So it really, the more time we spend in that space, our body just embraces and even further sort of reprograms and rewires for why it's just beautiful to stay in that anchored awareness in everything that we do, in the world that we see, how we respond to the world, right? So that we don't get pulled in back into this sort of triggered reaction state. People say something and we're just coming from this automatic response, and there's this level of stepping back and slow down into this kind of zero point within us as we experience everything that allows our wisdom to be what responds. And it's not a way of that's being inauthentic, right? If somebody says something to our face and we're just like, wow, I'm super triggered and really angered, it's not that we have to like step into this Om space and bypass them and find the right words that they should hear. It's not really so much that at all. It's more just this natural way of also embracing everything that you feel about what hits you in the moment, but also acknowledging what you're feeling about it to such an extent that it doesn't need to be what lashes out, and instead you're able to process through it and embody it. So again, this is one of the reasons why words are a little bit better to key into what's this quality, this state of being. But let's see if I can bring that through in the form of the music, because it is also such a multidimensional space. So as you tune in, those that join, I see some people have hopped on. Welcome. Feel free to leave some comments, feedback, how this is going, and all that stuff. And feel free to also click the share button, whatever platform you're using. I'm doing multi-stream, so whichever platform you hop on. I did put up a little share goals thing. Let's see if we can get to that and get some more outreach. But anyway, thank you all again, those that are here at the moment, as well as those who will tune in later. And let's see if we can bring that further expanded safety and embodiment through a bit of a longer transmission. But one that will, you can really kind of just tune in and just allow yourself to journey with this time around. So. was truly, truly something. Felt a lot of things transitioning from an old grasp, an old paradigm, all the way into the new. So, still some powerful energy moving. Thank you for those who have tuned in. Just doing a little bit of energy cleansing after that, real quick, and kind of light an incense and do a quick reset, as I do feel there to be a third part to this transmission, to this overall vibration. It's actually something that a dear friend and a sister picked up on, and when I asked a question in the post in my profile, I'm just going to blow some tobacco smoke and send some prayers this way while I keep talking. This is another beautiful tool we picked up in here while in our work in the Andes. The jungle mapacho, the tobacco, the spirit presence of the medicine that if you smoke it and blow prayer, and with the intention of cleaning, cleansing, updating, shifting, it just works so powerfully. I've been using it. I actually worked with it a bit in the cacao ceremony that we did via Zoom. And it wasn't anything heavy really going on, but it was just, sort of getting very intense, and things were building up, and it just cleared everything right up, and I could feel the energy container of us all really purifying, and it was a really beautiful way to hold the space, and I was kind of guided intuitively to do so in the midst and the unfolding. I felt to share a little guitar as well, perhaps at the end or something, just as a little parting gift. But yeah, the music is just an avenue, a carrier for the vibration, right? It might be a happy song, a sad song, it might be good playing, it might be ugly playing with a lot of mistakes. Whatever the case is, it's actually the presence itself that is being transmitted through the permission of the music being heard and connected to in our hearts, that allows the energy to be transmitted. So it's a really beautiful way I've found that creates so much healing. And this is the basis for a lot of sound healing, a lot of sound therapy, especially those whom this is new. It's it sort of creates a vibrational resonance, a field that your body can match up to. Any Reiki healer or any practitioner or any person, they're not really so much that they're healing at you. They're just, they're going to miraculously heal you. What they're doing really is they're creating a vibration. They're making available a state of being that is this healed state, this cellular memory of your wholeness, and you have the capacity, that your body has the ability to be like, oh, there's that. I can be like this more, and it just get trained to that. And in doing so, you receive it. You receive the healing that the Reiki practitioner, or the massage therapist, energy healer, whatever modality you're working with, you're able to receive that in that way. The music kind of accelerates this process because there's not even really so much of this interaction happening. It's just you're listening to music, and your heart goes, "This is kind of nice. I can just kind of let down my guard and just allow." And what happens then is that this same vibrational resonance that's created is able to get really deeply within you, and really all that you're ever connecting with is your own higher presence, your own. It's nothing that you have to be on the lookout for. Is this pure? Is it not? If you're just in your heart space and tuning in with the joy and the love that you have within you that is so uniquely you, that's automatically filtering out any of the purity, impurity, anything. It's always just you receiving from the higher presence that is all things, through this guy over here playing piano to you, another you playing, a musical sharing to you. It's beautiful, it's trippy, it's just been such a gift and a journey, especially to experience this in states of direct experiencing. There's the mental knowing. We can come to these awakenings, and we bring them back with us, and then the challenge is really grounding all that awakened perception of, I am part of all that is. I am the one. We are this interconnectedness. And then how do you live life in that way? Which is beautiful. It's that integration of the highest wisdom and the deepest innocence that is our embodiment. But we have these integrations that it can become sort of a mental experience. It becomes sort of a mental understanding, which is great. It's better than having no concept or no understanding. But the direct experiencing, especially something that I found through medicine work here, directly working with master plants and ayahuasca, it really just, it gives you no other choice but to go into that space and to experience, to be that, and then how to integrate that into our lives. But to have the direct experience is a really, really valuable, life-changing gift. And that's one of the reasons I've been so grateful to be able to share the work in the way that we have been over the years, because I've witnessed people coming and just shifting, changing, transforming their entire lives just from that. So very, very powerful. But the reason I touch upon this is because the ways of sound healing, ways of transmission of presence through music and the like, is another way for us to be able to access that direct experiencing. Not just a mental understanding of our interconnectedness, of what joy, what love is, what our innocence feels like, what it's like to nurture ourselves, but literally just stepping into that state. And then from that place, our body just starts to, again, like reprogram and rewire, become more and more that way. Because it's so joyful unto itself. It's so fulfilling to be that over time, there's just really nothing else to choose. It's like, why would I do anything else? It just feels really shallow and empty by comparison. So the third portion of this, the culmination to kind of wrap this up in this sort of little three-part series of our embodiment and how to stay anchored within that without these little things blipping in and fears, and how to be so in acknowledgement and the fullness of ourself that we there doesn't really even need to be any more of those things acting out or triggered in fear as we step more and more into our embodiment and allow our soul presence to flourish through our expression. The third part I wanted to just kind of bring all together. I feel like it'll be a little bit shorter, but it'll be elements from the previous two transmissions and kind of gift wrapped in the joy of it being so fulfilling and so naturally nourishing, and such that, like I was saying before, there just doesn't really become any need to be any other way. There's such a fulfillment within this anchoring, our reconnection to our higher presence. And that's something that's a very valuable state and presence that I've always wanted to transmit more and more of. So I suppose what better time to really give that a go than on this beautiful first test run of our this new setup and the internet and everything. So hopefully, I did notice that the audio was a little bit distorting loud and whatnot in the interface, so I'm going to turn it down and see how that compares. I did want to have it turned up because, like I was saying in the beginning, I have a lavalier mic, but I couldn't quite get it to work with the interface this time. So I'm still trying. That's why one of the reasons why I'm projecting so much is because the mic is actually behind me and I turned it up. But I will turn it down after I'm done blabbering, and let's see how this takes shape to sort of bring it all together, bring it all full circle, full triangle, sort of like three legs of a triangle. Really is what I'm envisioning this. This very solid transmission as one offering. And yeah, again, those especially who have just joined, or if you're re-listening later, just let yourself open in safety and just receive. Allow your body to just flow and see how that'll allow the music to translate into the understandings, the new awakenings, the new awareness for you, what it means for you, which is the most important thing. So as you just open and allow, that translation is automatically happening. You're always receiving from your highest presence, You're so guided, so loved, and so supported. It's all about just letting it in. It's every moment, every millisecond. There's so much endless love being beamed at us from the universe. The reason why we don't see it is just simply because our filters are in the way. Um, so may we allow more, and let's see if I can kind of bring this all full circle. Let me know how you guys find this. Feel free to leave some more comments, and if you want, click the share button. It's on this side of the video. See if we can get some more exposure of this post, especially if you're re-listening later and there's someone who jumps out. You can send them a messenger or something that this could be relevant for. That is my only, my utmost heartfelt wish. To get views and to get the sort of inorganic numbers, that's easy to do. That's not really what I'm here for. I'm just wishing the one connection or the five connections of the people that really needed to hear this are what makes my heart sing every time. Every week that I've shared these in the past as recordings, and now even more so in this live setting where we can actually interact, where we can chat. I can actually see your messages and all these things. So it's just about that. If somebody comes to mind, send this along, pass it along, and I would love to reach more of those who really resonate with this work and can use to hear it, and it could be of support or help in their lives. Nothing would mean more to me. So this is about union of love, as our dear sister so aptly described it in her comment, and so this one goes to you, and to wrap everything full circle, and maybe be more embodied. Because the world deserves to see us in this way. So let's see how that pans out in the music. more so than I intended. So it was really challenging to keep up at times. It's really beautiful. But the joy, the overwhelming joy that's behind our embodiment itself, is truly reason enough. It's such a driving force. It's endless. It's boundless in its potential and potential for amplitude, for its presence. And when it raises to certain levels, it starts to really like, wow, I can almost burst from this quality of this joy and love. And that's really what it's about. And it's not about, from this, we're not becoming these sort of love and light bypassing beings. It's from literally giving our body the permission to allow that fuel for the new operating system, which is this joy, which is that quality of connectedness to all things, that then blossoms us into our true expression, our genuine, right, our soul self, who is not just a love and light. Like we then embody the knowing of how to respond to everybody, and to be more discipline towards some people, to say just the right thing that will trigger them to examine themselves, etc., etc. So the joy and the love and this light, this foundation, it truly is just that. It's the fuel for this operating system of our embodiment. And so we're all stepping more and more into it. As we tune into things like this, engage in practices, definitely staying out in nature, connecting with Pachamama, that just supports that process of our bodies sort of transfiguring into the operating system of allowing that vitality from the earth, from the infinite, to be what powers our bodies, our breath. Like they say, it's when you're looking for God somewhere, you're out there, if I show yourself to me, this kind of quality of, I'm having a really hard time, just come back to the breath. God is in the breath. The breath is the eternal reconnection of that which is always behind all things. So it's these simplicities that bring us always right back home. And we need not look too much further than just that. And it's just there. So I really appreciate all the support, you guys. I think it's looking to be panning out quite well. I've gotten a couple of donations even before the video started, so I was really, really so grateful to you guys. Thank you. I'm actually working on getting, I found a microphone that's going to mount really well, that I'm getting from the US, and I'm trying to get a way to get that ordered and shipped over here, and I'm super stoked to do that because it will up-level the way that the piano will sound, especially live when I'm not able to edit and put the equalizers and stuff on it as much. To have just a beautiful, pure, raw sound is a really beautiful, a new project for me, and it'll be a nice next step. So I appreciate the support. It's all kind of going towards these next steps. So feel free, if you feel, or if you know someone who's a patron of the arts or spiritual healing, things of this nature that would be of this would find them really well, and they could support as well. Just pass it along, like I said before. I'm really grateful for the more people reach out and that this connects to. The ripples, the ripple effect can go from there. And from here, and the center point of it, at the origin point, I'm just trusting that it's all going to find the people that it needs to. I've connected with so many of you over the years, and I've just been moved into such awe of how perfectly these connections all come. And they come and go, they flow in and out, and the people that we've met here over the years, as well as before I was even in Peru. Now looking back at my life, that the level of awe that I've achieved from just looking back at this and experiencing this throughout the course of my life has brought me into that trust so fully and so fearlessly, that for me, when it comes to this, there is nothing else. I know that I'm just here, and I'm going to just do this dance, and whether it's upside down in my head and I'm messing up all the notes and everything, it doesn't matter to me, because I have such a passion and desire and love to share this vibration from the Andes, from this powerful land, from my heart to all of your hearts, with as much clarity and as much power as I can, as much purity, because we all deserve to receive these vibrations, especially in these times. So more to come. I think I will just allow this to kind of to sit with this and wrap it up for today. Again, it's a different format. Last week was, the last time I did this was week 50 when it was a recorded video. All these have been recorded so far. And I believe there's a link in the description for where you can find all the past replays and episodes. They are all very powerful. Even though they're not live, they're still me tuning in that moment for what's going to be needed for that week or that, those few weeks ahead, and just sharing that through the piano. So there's a Google Drive folder where they're all, you can find them all, you can revisit them, all the videos. As well, I would encourage you to check out the, I'm not sure, I have the musicalhealing.bandcamp up here. YouTube is there. Go me. I put links up. All the learning experiences. But the Bandcamp is actually a really wonderful resource as well, because as I've gone over the weeks, over especially this last year, I've been putting up the produced audio of just the piano. So not me blathering for 20 minutes as in the videos, but really just the focus of the audio, with a description for each and what you can how you can approach it and how you can receive it. So that's been a really great healing tool for many people. I haven't, obviously, since the sessions that I do that are private, as I share and tune into your energy and can do via call or energy healing, and I send you a recording of your session. That's obviously private material, so I haven't had those uploaded on musicalhealing.bandcamp. But nevertheless, the public transmissions, and you're welcome to get in touch if you do feel to connect one-on-one. I really enjoy doing that work. It's very powerful. But the Bandcamp has been a collection of the ongoing episodes of all these different themes and recordings. I will try to see if I can isolate this recording from the microphone from this time. At least one of these, perhaps the last one that brings it all together, and put that one up as a separate MP3 file that we can download on the Bandcamp. But let's see where it goes. First off, I'm just going to check out, see how the video recorded. It really seems to me as though the internet has been holding up. If there's one thing about it, it's been very steady, and that's been a blessing. Because I haven't actually had steady internet. Even when I was back in the US, it would kind of spike up and down a lot. So this seems to be a really, really beautiful solution. And, it's been needing to happen. So I'm grateful. I know that the timing just has its own wisdom. And so the fact that it has appeared now can only be, the signifier that we're ready to enter this next chapter. So starting from today, week 51, it'll be this format, or perhaps we'll switch it up. I'll do a recorded one sometimes, and in between, I'll also definitely be sharing more events, more live stuff, guitar, drumming, cacao medicine. People joined in for on the Eventbrite link. There's by Aguila Wasi. I'll put up all the future events that we do, so you can follow us there if you'd like. And they'll be free to pay by donation, whatever works for people, because in these times especially they've been financially challenging, so some people have been very generous and it's been really beautiful, and some are just really excited to come and don't have the financial resources. So stay tuned on the Eventbrite website of Aguila Wasi, and I'll post the new events that we do, that I do. Angelica will be returning here in another week or two, so super excited about that, and still continuing to send her lots of blessings, keeping the updates going for her on her GoFundMe and everything on my profile. So I'll be super beyond words to welcome her back when she returns. She's changed so much, it's crazy, it's incredible. It's been such a challenge, and continues to be still to some degrees, so keep sending her love. It's really a culminating challenge for her on her journey, and but around the middle of the month she should be back, and we'll try to see if we can share some more online content as well together, as the way that we've been holding the space and cacao ceremonies and everything. But even like I said in the Zoom that we did with the cacao, people just prepared their own medicine and put their intention into it. Brought items that were significant and came with their intentions and their sharings. And we all kind of came together in this container, and it turned out beautifully. I think my voice is finally giving out from having to project so much because of the microphone setup. So, anyway, I will call it a day. Thank you all again for those that are tuning in now, those that will tune in later. Again, pass it on to people that this might be relevant for. If anybody jumps out, that's what it's all about for me. I just want to share this vibration with as many people that it's relevant for as possible. Not just huge numbers, thousands, millions. That's not what I'm here for. I just wish for this to find all the right hearts that it needs to. And I know that it will, but you will all have the feeling and the knowing of being moved to whatever direction to share and spread this work or to support it. So follow that, just as you follow everything to do with your intuition, your true presence, and that sense of what to do at each moment that comes from our inner being. And I hope that this music and that this transmission was able to awaken that inner being just that much more in us all. Revisit it anytime. And yeah, get in touch with me in any of the various platforms. I'm quite responsive. So let me know how you found this, and any feedback, positive or negative, it's all welcome. So thank you all again. And let's see where it all goes from here. Have a beautiful rest of the week, and I'll chat with you all.